All right, friends, it's T-Man. We're going to do a reaction video to Jason Blaha's brand new video. Yes, the gym lifting gear fitness slave himself. Jason Blaha, let's see. Jason Blaha says, debunking the myth that our ancestors were carnivores and ate saturated fat. Oh, brother. Okay. He's going to debunk that we ate that when meanwhile the planet was filled with forests and animals and humans roaming the planet. And he's going to debunk that we were carnivores, that we ate meat. Okay, this is going to be great.
Paleolithic humans, which is the majority of our history, were never carnivores, and we didn't have...
They were never carnivores, so you are a centenarian. A million-year-old centenarian, eh? You know this for a fact. These are all myths, and now people are taking myths and then trying to bring them as if it's fact. This is stupid. You were never there. Nobody knows anything. Shut the fuck up.
Access to large amounts of saturated fat. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. And I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And we have to debunk this nonsense.
I like the part where he said saturated fat. Animal, carnivore, saturated fat. Yeah, it's very healthy for you. Animal saturated fat. Plant saturated fat will destroy you. It domesticates you.
It's myth. And again, every time I make a video like this, you get all the people who come in from...
Look, man, this is not hard to prove, okay? When they take animals out of the wild, they put them on farms, they become domesticated. So when you take, for an example, a pig and he goes back out into the wild, does he look like a pig on the farm? No, he turns into what he naturally was, a boar. He grows tusks, hair, and he gets very muscular. Why is that? Because of what they're feeding the animal on the farm, dude. And what the animal's doing there. It's out of its natural environment.
These weird diet cults, and of course they accuse me of being a vegan, even though they literally see meat in my grocery cart, meat and dairy. So again, it's this weird idea. Everyone who buys into these mythologies doesn't understand that people can...
Just because you bought some meat, it's in your grocery basket, like some putrid chicken that you bought there, some abused chicken. Okay, whatever.
Eat normal, balanced, healthy diets. If there are people who eat both animal products and vegetables. In fact...
Yeah, there are modern people today that eat... they eat animals and they eat some vegetables, yes. But they started off doing it seasonally. Now they're eating it all year round. And now they're adding chemicals, more chemicals... They're engineering more toxic foods and just consuming them all year round, bro. Now they're making them into smoothies, so they're condensing them, processing them into smoothies, and just downing them like there's no tomorrow, destroying themselves. Yes, okay.
99.99% of healthy people do both.
99.9% of healthy people. Okay, where are these healthy people? Show me these healthy people, Blaha. If they're going to a dentist, they are not healthy. And I can tell you right now, 99.9% of the people go to dentists. They're unhealthy. There you go. Health is based on, they already know. The slave masters knew when they checked the slaves, the first thing they would do would check their teeth. Why is that? Because that indicated health. They had bad teeth, they couldn't eat, right? They have all kinds of problems.
So, I digress. Back over to the point. There's a lot of myths here that have been perpetrated to market diets. And really, really high on the list is...
To market diets. A diet is something fake. Humans are carnivore. And cows are herbivore. As a carnivore, you eat meat. Now, anything else you eat after that, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you eat rocks, you can eat rocks if you want, bark off a tree, because humans are already doing that. They're already eating bark. So, you know, that's just the next step in evolution. They're already putting plastic too in your food. What else are they putting there? I don't know, man. You're brushing your teeth with cement. Cement. Come on, man. I've seen people swallow toothpaste. It's cement.
Going to be that we had access to saturated fat, but I'll get to that in a second. First, let's talk about the carnivore thing. And you know, when this gets brought up, people love to bring up the fact that, well, there were these anthropologists and archaeologists in Israel who found out that Homo erectus 3 million years ago, all in South America, or I believe it was South America, Central America, appeared to be hypercarnivores, and some of the ones in Europe.
Yeah, I don't know about hypercarnivore. We're carnivore. And if you're starving, yeah, you'd probably eat rocks or bark off a tree. Maybe, I don't know, maybe dig up a root in the ground. Who knows? But, yeah, we're carnivore, dude. And, yeah, there are no farms. Farms don't exist. They didn't exist. They're man-made.
They found data that they...
That's how I know, Blaha. Farms do not exist. They're man-made. There's only forests and animals out there. So you figure it out. Use your brain, man.
Ate all the animals to extinction, and they lived on a primarily meat diet. Okay.
We ate...
You're really giving PointsBet a run for their money.
I'm not even going to go into...
We ate animals to extinction? What? Man, do you have any proof of this? Proof of anything that you say? No. He's just making this shit up, bro. Get it? And people are buying this garbage.
Appeal to nature, because I actually don't...
Yes, you know what we were? You know what we were 100,000 years ago? We were all vegan. We were all vegan, and then one day we decided to eat meat. But now we want to be vegan again because... We want to save the animals. We want to be nice to them. We were always vegan, yes. We jumped on trees, we screamed like apes, and we ran around naked. Yeah. We had nothing better to do, man. And we were all homosexuals, and we were transgender and homosexuals, and we were all doing each other, so we almost dug ourselves into nothingness because we didn't procreate anymore. We were doing each other that's opposite sexes, yes. Like Blaha, he's doing the opposite sex. He's doing the opposite of everything. Matt, do you like people making up garbage?
Believe that because something is natural, that automatically means it's the most healthy.
Well, I love this one. Does that mean something that's natural, does that mean it's automatically healthy? Man, it's natural, yes. But what makes it healthy is... because it doesn't have any toxins or nasty things there. It's a nutrient diet. It's a high nutrient protein diet, which is optimal for humans. You understand me? It's the most optimal. It's like gas. You're putting. What are you gonna put? What type of gas you putting in your car, in your Ferrari? You're gonna put the most expensive gas. That's optimal. You're not gonna put regular because it's gonna conk out.
That is not a logical chain of thought. Okay, that's actually considered to be a logical fallacy. But let's set that aside. Even if it works for you,
I gotta tell you, that was the stupidest thing I ever heard Blaha say. Something that natural.
that if we look at whatever is natural is what we should eat. So if we work off of that,
Yeah, that's what we should eat. What's natural in nature. We shouldn't eat anything that's unnatural. What part did he not get? You understand me?
logic, the whole carnivore diet, it goes away into the dumpster. In fact, all these people who eat...
Yes, of course, for an unnatural slave like Blaha, it goes in the dumpster because he lives an unnatural lifestyle. He lifts unnatural man-made weight. He eats unnatural man-made food. And he just, everything, his life is just miserable, living this unnatural life. Go out in nature and enjoy your life. Get out of that garage, man. Get it? Go out and discover the world, man. There's more to life than fucking being a fucking lifting slave in a fucking garage, dude, 24 hours. And talking about stupid shit all day on the internet. And me having to make rebuttal videos, reaction videos to these crazy videos.
butter and stuff, that has to go in the dumpster, which it should anyways.
Butter and stuff, that has to go in a dumpster too, guys. Butter has to go in a dumpster. Butter is great, I think, for people that are going to eat like these potatoes, mashed potatoes. They're going to taste a lot better with butter, and it's going to be better for you, at least. Yeah.
Because it's not natural, but because it is literally garbage food in terms of nutrition and health.
It's not natural. It's naturally made from natural food. You understand me? It's not made from man-made, engineered, unnatural food. Get it? And then they keep engineering it.
But
look, I'm not saying that a sugar cane is not natural. It's natural, growing. It grows out somewhere. I don't know. Maybe they cultivated sugar cane and then they started growing it, whatever. Let's just say it's growing out their sugar cane. I don't know. But in its natural form, yeah, maybe you would chew on it or something. Maybe as a human, you discovered it and you chewed on it. But the amount of processed sugar from a sugar cane, dumping it down your throat, is not exactly optimal, is it, for human health?
I digress back over to that point. Those are not humans, okay? And they only lived to be 30 years old. So if we're going to have a...
Hold on. Those are not humans. They only live to 30 years old. Any proof of that? You see, because, you know, he's talking about probably like ancient Egypt and stuff when they started eating bread. They started eating a lot of bread. The more bread they started to eat, and then the less of these animals they ate, they died. Hell, their lifespan was like 20 or 30 or something. So they shortened their lifespan eating bread all day, 24 hours. And probably dirty water, and who knows what else, what kind of problems they had there. They weren't exactly clean. They discovered beer. They were drinking beer and alcohol, having sex parties, these Egyptians. They were doing all kinds of stuff, fornication, you name it. So, yeah, then you say, well, why are we living a little bit longer? Well, we should probably be living even longer. There's recorded cases of the native people that lived in North America. They were a lot taller, bigger, stronger. They ate animals. But the colonists, they just simply wore them out just because. But yeah, they even killed their source of food. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So there were recordings that they lived a lot longer. I don't know. They say 120, 140. It's a possibility 200. Who knows? Who knows how long humans could really live, because we don't have any proof.
Discussion about heart attacks and atherosclerosis.
We've been eating unnatural food for such a long time now, doing like these unnatural things for who knows, the last couple thousand years, that we don't even know how long a human could truly live on a natural diet, because nobody's eating just natural food anymore. They're eating slave food.
We're number one, not going to be talking about a species of animal that only averages 30 years of age, because I think most of us want to live beyond 30.
If you average 30 years of age, it's because you poisoned yourself and you died.
I'm 47. I want to survive beyond that.
Yeah, but you look 85. He wants to survive beyond what?
Average age of 30.
So he wants to survive beyond the age of 30. You're 47. You're lucky to get there. But I doubt he'll make it past 50, 55. I say he's done.
I would hope most of you out there listening want to survive beyond the average age of 30. I also would like to be tolerant.
Yeah, you're surviving because you have access to clean water, a bunch of stuff. In the past, a lot of people had problems with water. Water was fucking nasty. I don't know what other problems they had in the last couple of centuries. Who knows, man? Bacterias, eating these plants, toxins, poisons, whatever.
Than 4'11", and I would like to be intelligent enough and be physically capable.
A lot of the problems is because of dysbiosis. Am I pronouncing this properly? Dysbiosis. When you eat something you're not supposed to, it causes dysbiosis in the microbiome in your stomach. Happens with animals. It happens to Happens to humans, it happens to lots of animals. If you eat something you're not supposed to, it'll destroy you. Corn will destroy you. I've read that before already. Corn will destroy you. They say, well, these Indians, they ate corn. No, man, that's probably like a last resort after the colonists killed all their animals. There weren't any more bison to eat, so they ran in who knows where to eat some corn growing somewhere.
Full of speech. So here's my question. Why are these people using a species that was 5 foot tall and under, died by the age of 30, and wasn't even intelligent enough to talk?
They didn't. How do you know that? He's talking about a species. So how many thousands of years are you talking about? 100,000? 100,000 years ago, they lived to 30. They couldn't even talk. What are you talking about? He's making this stuff up, man. Whatever.
Because it's in our evolutionary line?
Yeah, how many people do you know that strap a belt to their waist to this contraption and do this all day long? This is mental illness. They would see this as mental illness. This is what this is, really. This really is mental illness.
I mean, if we're going to use that logic, we could use fish. What if fish?
I mean, look at this guy. He strapped this thing on. There's some weights on there, and he's like bobbing up and down with his legs, like up and down, up and down.
Eat.
For what purpose are you doing this? What's the purpose behind it? I know. He's exercising. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no, wait. He's getting stronger by lifting a man-made weight. Are you really getting stronger lifting a man-made weight, or are you getting better at moving those objects?
the ridiculousness to take another species with a different lifespan, different size, different intelligence, can't even talk, and that's the foundation of your diet? What sort of blithering, I mean absolute blithering moron do you have to be to take a completely different species that most of us would not recognize in any way as a human being? We would probably...
What species? What are you talking about? You have any proof, man?
mistake it for a chimpanzee. A funny looking chimp.
He's making this stuff up. There's no proof. We're not monkeys or apes. We're humans. We look human. We don't look like an ape. That's why there's apes, there's humans, and there's deer. That's like saying deers are now bulls. They're bulls. They don't recognize themselves because they were bulls before. No, they were never a bull, a deer. A deer was a deer, a bull was a bull, and a human is a human. We were never any monkeys, okay? We don't even look like monkeys. What are you talking about?
You wouldn't even think it was a person. And that's the foundation of your diet ideas.
Yeah, you would never think that that lion was a lion. He used to be an elephant. Okay, sure, Blaha.
Because they were carnivores, humans are carnivores.
No, they ate meat because that was the optimal thing to eat. Your performance and everything about you is optimal. Do you understand me? It's optimal. But if you eat something that's not meant for you to eat, it causes dysbiosis, man.
Yeah, they also went extinct, by the way. They're gone.
I love this one. They went extinct. They're gone. Who's they? Extinct and gone. We're here. What are you talking about? That's all made up by people, man. All that shit's fucking made up. It's bullshit. There's no proof of any of that.
All right. Maybe because they all died of heart attacks. That part's a joke. The stupidity. Like literally, how dang stupid do you have to be to use this as your argument?
Okay, look, man, you don't have to use that as your argument. What you do is you experiment and to see what is the most optimal thing to eat. Now, we already know that these foods are artificially made by man. The stuff that you find that is in the produce section of these stores, which don't exist in nature, never did. So it's kind of obvious they're producing it from something. What? These fruits and vegetables. And they've already acknowledged they're engineered by man, these fruits and vegetables, out of nature. You understand me, dude? So it's artificial. It's artificial. It's artificial because it's engineered. And so you're eating these artificial foods. What are they doing to you if we are meant really to eat meat so that we're optimal? I'm not saying you can't eat these foods. You can put anything in your mouth, eat rocks. Does that mean that rocks are healthy for you?
All right, let's go over to actual real humans.
Tell me one thing that makes cinnamon healthy for you. Why is it so healthy for you? It's made from tree bark. Would you like stop and just like pull some bark off a tree and eat it and say this is healthy to your friends? Come on.
What we would think of and recognize as a human being, a Homo sapien, you go back and look at the records and what did we find for them? They can
Go look back at the records. What records? Nobody recorded anything back then, you ding dong. They're making stuff up right now.
consumed on average around 80% plants, 20% animal products. Now,
80% plants, 20% animal products. No, yeah. Well, the planet is definitely, it's filled with trees and plants growing out there. But I doubt anybody stopped to eat a leaf or a plant, okay? They stopped and they ate animals. That's what they did.
I'm not going to tell you, oh, you should be eating exactly what they ate, because I don't want to eat crickets and roaches. I don't like bugs. I've tried bugs. I've eaten grasshopper. I don't care for it.
They're not eating any bugs, dude. That's just insane. That's just crazy stuff by, what's his name? Bill Gates, your cousin.
I don't want to eat bugs. So I'm not going to stand there and say, oh, I'm going to use...
Yeah, but Bill Gates, your cousin, he wants to feed you bugs, and you're going to like it, he says, dude. I love this shot, man. Look how red he is. Jesus. It's just crazy.
Their exact diet is a model, so it's going to be tons of roots and bugs and, and whatever else. Whatever animal...
Roots and bugs. Maybe if I was starving, the last person on the planet.
They can hunt now. Keeping in mind, when you look at the historic trends for big game, tribes could not sustain themselves on that. Okay? So people, they picture them...
I love this one. Tribes could not have sustained themselves on big game. Yeah, the native people here in North America, they sustained themselves on big game called bison until the colonists started approaching Midwest United States, and then they decided to slaughter all of them so they could take away their food supply so that they can get them to get rid of them, whatever, to genocide the native people, to get rid of them and get rid of their lifestyle, living a free lifestyle, free in nature. They want to enslave them.
Honey, now they don't
whatever was left of them.
realize the calorie expenditure was too low versus the energy yield. Any of you ever hunted or eaten game meat? Seeing the size and the effort involved even with modern weaponry, you would struggle with modern firearms out in the woods today to really sustain your calorie needs being active on nothing but wild game, even being able to hunt them with modern tactics.
Man, he's funny, man. Your calorie needs to be sustained. They didn't throw anything away when it came to the animal. They drank the animal's blood. You would eat the organs and eat the meat. Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about.
Equipment, okay? It's difficult. They had to do group hunting and endurance hunting. The calorie yield was low, right? And they didn't have saturated fat. Again, we come back over to this idea, well, because these ancestors millions of years ago ate mostly meat, we can eat all this pasture raised, right? They think that somehow...
Me personally, I'm eating a lot of meat. I eat just meat now. I just eat meat and seafood. And I'm getting better and better all the time. My jawline's coming out. The bone structure in my face has come back. I look extremely lean. My functionalities come back. I can actually jump really high. I can run super fast again. Power has come back. The nerve damage that I was suffering from seems to have gone away. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't notice it. It started going away slowly because I just kept force feeding myself a high nutrient diet throughout the summer. I figured, you know what, I had the time now, and I have to discover more about eating because I'm a slave. So I have to discover what my natural food is. And I discovered it. The more raw you could eat these foods out in nature, what you could find out in nature, which you could find in some places like buffets or restaurants, if you can find where they serve you raw animal products, that's amazing. So yeah, I mean, you can eat. It's the thing is, you're kind of like hesitant to eat these things raw because you think, well, they'll taste bad. But if you're always scared because something will, based on its taste and not on health, then you'll never discover what is really good and healthy for you. See what I mean? If you have to base everything off health, I mean off taste, sorry. You understand me? And here's the thing. You will discover eventually that raw food actually tastes good. You understand me? It's just that in the modern world, they just make everything super tasty because they drug you. They put drugs in there called sugar, and they put corn and everything, corn and drugs, which causes dysbiosis. Corn is nasty. They just do a whole bunch of stuff. They put chemicals to drug you to keep eating these fake foods. Yeah, I don't find Mars bars out in nature, dude. They don't exist out there.
Because it's grass fed in a comfy pasture, that it's not a really fat animal.
No, it's a herbivore animal, and yes, you could say they eat grass. Okay, so it's a herbivore animal. That's the type of meat that you can eat raw. Now, I wouldn't eat any carnivore animal like pigs or chickens. They're putrid.
Grass fed beef, compared to, say, wild deer or elk, has 4 to 5 times as much fat on it.
Well, I'd love to eat some deer or elk, but us slaves, unfortunately, we don't have access to that. If us slaves had access to it, then yes, we'd probably eat it too.
Per ounce, per pound. Okay, unless your ancestors lived in the Arctic Circle and they were Eskimos or Inuits, you didn't have access to animal saturated fat to a great degree.
So how did they survive? I thought you said that we weren't carnivores. So what are you trying to say, that Eskimos ate plants? Man, this guy really is off on a tangent. He can't prove anything he says because it's fake. He's just making it up. Eskimos, for as far as we know, they lived there for such a long time, and that's their lifestyle. They eat, I don't know, they eat seals, they eat whatever, whales, who knows, fish and stuff, seafood, and they seem to be doing fine. They're not dead. They're living. They're living. I don't know how long they live, eating just marine animals. I personally think that land animals are a lot better. That's just my thought. But you can't combine the two, right? Would that hurt? No. You know what I mean? Which one's more optimal for longevity and health? It's something you'd have to experiment with. I don't know. You'd have to look at these Eskimos. How do they fare compared to people that eat land animals, that just eat like grass-fed land animals? I don't know. Maybe you can compare the two. Who the heck knows, dude? Dude, it's hard to say. But the amount of chemicals that are in your tap water alone is enough to fucking shorten your lifespan and destroy you. Drinking chlorine all day and fluoride, and it's recycled water in the cities. So even if you are filtering it, you have to filter it so much. It's crazy. I have to get my water now from my home up north because it's well water. It's groundwater. Sorry, it's mineralized groundwater that I get up there, and I bring it back with me to the city. So, and I usually drink I buy bottled mineral water and stuff like that, and drink that a lot than drinking tap water. Now I filter my shower because I don't want the chemicals to be absorbed through my skin showering. So I have a 20-layer filter on my shower. But yeah, you have to protect yourself, man. So what is really causing a lot of the problems? Well, it's kind of really hard to say, right? Now they're saying there's plastic particles and everything. They're destroying you. Who knows?
until agriculture. And then
I mean, the air itself already is nasty. There's so many cars on the road shooting out gas. Are you breathing in that gas? Yeah, most likely yes, those particles. What are they doing to you exactly? Are they shortening your lifespan too? So let's say you were eating healthy. Let's say we are eating our optimal diet, and but now the air is what's causing us to have a shortened lifestyle. Is shortening our lifespan, and the tap water. I don't know, man. It's hard to say again.
most of that came from dairy, not from the actual animals early on. Okay, so an FYI, most of the world, unless you come from a region that
Dairy? That's what these so-called vegans are. It's what's sustaining them. These vegans and these vegetarians or whatever they call themselves. These phony people. These cults. So these phony man-made cults. They're most likely eating dairy products, sustaining them because, man, a lot of people admitted to it. They're like, "Well, I drank milk. That's what sustained them, the milk. Otherwise, they'd be completely dead."
tolerates dairy really well, you still probably didn't have access to, great deals of it. So that's going to vary depending on where your ancestors came from. But that's all post-agriculture. Once people could actually have pastures and herds. Okay?
Like I said, if Blaha would just eat his natural diet, his facial features would change. They'd become masculine, but he's become feminine. If you look at him, he's feminized.
And I'm a dairy fan, by the way.
Look at this. It's feminine, feminized.
Lean dairy, not whole fat. I think fat-free dairies, low-fat dairies are awesome. I think they're phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I still tell you, you want to limit saturated fat. And now we could argue the lipids from that isn't.
He has demasculinized himself. He has aged himself and demasculinized himself. Look at him. He's so aged here. This is crazy. What is this? Man, this is just insane, bro. Just take a good look at Blaha. Like, look at his face, his body. This is an 85-year-old man. 85 sarcopenia.
Nearly as bad unless you process it into butter, in which case it's horrific.
So,
when you look at the blood work.
just do the opposite everything Blaha tells you. Eat meat. When he says that meat's bad, we didn't eat it, eat it. If you don't want to look like Blaha, here's the thing. Don't eat the food. Don't eat the food that he tells you to eat. These tofus and these fruits and vegetables and rice, arsenic, and these nuts and weird things and coffee and all this weird shit. Don't eat it. And I guarantee you, you're going to look better than Blaha. And you won't end up looking like him. Yeah. A lot of these people online, if you look at them, they have bald heads. They have a round pumpkin bald head. Just look at them carefully and figure out what they're eating. There a lot of them are lifting slaves. And they have a pumpkin head. They get this pumpkin head from eating an artificial diet. You get a masculine head when you eat your natural diet. Think about that for a moment. Ponder that thought, okay?
But the fact that you're still looking at insulin sensitivity, right? That's a concern. But you look.
Yes, that's a big concern, insulin sensitivity. I would think a big concern is your facial features because no woman is attracted to you, dude. I like when he says, women, they loved my arms. They saw my arms shopping. Yeah, but they never looked at your face, though. They never complimented you on your face.
Look at all this, and it's like even till then we didn't have it.
And I doubt any woman stopped to say he has nice arms because his arms are small. He looks weird. His body looks strange.
Incidentally, who are the first people who we find atherosclerosis in the remains? Early goat herders.
No. Early domesticated man. That's who. Domesticated men like you, Blaha. When they exhume your body, they will find it in your bones too.
Which makes sense. That's where you get atherosclerosis from saturated.
They will label you as a lifting slave. We exhumed a lifting slave. We examined his bones.
Fat. Not from dietary cholesterol, from saturated fat. That would mean even plant sources. But wild game doesn't have much fat, let alone saturated fat on it. right? All this idea that
There's no saturated, there's no fat. Well, marine life has a lot of fat in it. It's fatty. It's got good omega-3s. It's fatty. So what are you talking about, man? You think we didn't fish? You think we didn't? We ate land animals, and we most likely fished too. We fished, we ate fish and land animals, providing we had access. Like, there's a lot of streams and lakes and rivers around. We roamed around the planet. So we had a nice life.
that you as a human are somehow historically wired for saturated fat, or that it's beneficial or healthy or necessary, and even
Yeah, it is really healthy for you, saturated fat. Animal saturated fat's amazing for you, bro. You need, here's the thing. The energy that your mitochondria run off is that fat. So I don't know what he's talking about. If there wasn't any, we'd be conked out completely. But yeah, there's saturated fat. It's in meat, whatever you're eating, these animals. And your mitochondria like running off them. They don't like running off drugs called sugar, drugs.
the slightest drop in your diet is a myth by
That's why everybody becomes dysfunctional over time. Look at these people walking around. It started happening to me. I'll tell you what made me dysfunctional. A lot of it was the fruits, the vegetables, the sugar. It made me dysfunctional. The moment I stopped that, and the moment I went back to just eating my natural food, like as natural as I could eat it, as raw as I could eat it, my functionality came back big time. I can actually jump super high in the air now again. And I can run super fast. I've got more power in my body. I just feel agile, fast, quick. Just everything is so much better, man. My sleep, everything is so much better.
diet cult of zealots. Okay? That's it. It's not based on reality. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
Guys, it's not based on reality. It's based on Blaha's fantasy. You understand me? You're living in a fantasy world. You have to eat tofu. Look like Blaha. Domesticate yourself. Harder and faster than the last time. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Don't you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Blaha's ridiculous. These videos are really ridiculous. See you in the next one.